So we've looked at how to solve for a side using the law of sines. The next thing we're going to look at is how to solve for an angle using the law of sines. So here's our triangle that we're given, and we are asked to solve for angle B. We're also told that angle B is acute. So let's see if we can set this up and solve for angle B. So let's start with what we know. We know that angle A is 57 degrees. We also know that the side opposite that angle is 12. So we're going to start things off by saying the sine of 57 over 12. Remember, we got to keep the angle and the side opposite it together. So sine of 57 goes with 12. So next thing, we need to find angle B. So let's see if we can set up this last ratio here. So angle B, that's going to go with the side that's labeled 14. So I'm going to say sine of B over 14. So here's my proportion that I've set up. So essentially what the game plan here is to isolate the sine of B, so basically get it by itself, and then apply the inverse sine to both sides so that we can figure out what angle B is. So first thing we're going to do to go about figuring out what angle B is, we're going to multiply both sides by 14 to get rid of that denominator. Cross multiplying would work here as well. So on the left hand side we've got 14 times sine of 57 divided by 12. So we've got about 0.978 equals sine of B. So I've got to do something to both sides to get rid of this sine here. I want to do something to both sides so that what I'm left with is just angle B, because I want to know what angle B is. So to do that, we've got to do the opposite of sine. The opposite of sine is the inverse sine. So that's what we're going to do to both sides to finish solving for B. So when I apply the inverse sine to both sides, on the right I'm left with just angle B, because this sine inverse essentially just cancels with this sine, and we're left with the angle inside. So when I take the inverse sine of the decimal on the left, it looks like angle B is about 78 degrees. I'm just going to round to the nearest degree here, because I think when you go to practice on Khan Academy, it wants you to round to the nearest degree. So we'll round to the nearest degree. So angle B is 78 degrees. Angle B is 78 degrees.